Tell us about the transition from being an official to taking over as coordinator of officiating.
It's been a whirlwind of activity. The transition is it's been exhilarating to some extent. It's also been new challenges and new opportunities that I didn't really know existed until you have a job like this. This is my 28th season of having something to do with football officiating, and 12th within the Ohio Valley Conference. And so I'm excited to do something that's new and challenging, to say the least. But it feels good, and I'm looking forward to doing the best for our student athletes and all their opponents.
Tell us how you recruit and train officials in the OVC.
The footprint of the Ohio Valley Conference is large, and so we're looking for qualified, competent men and women who can do this and do it well. We're looking for people who have sound judgment, people who look the part. We're looking for a diversity of people and geographies around our member schools and within that footprint. The officials in the Ohio Valley Conference come to us from Division II programs, NAIA programs, Division III programs, and sometimes laterally between FCS programs, and we put quite a number of our officials into FBS programs and beyond. And so there is a networking that takes place, and so to say the least, we're looking for those people who are ready to make a jump from their level to Division I football.
This year will be the first for instant replay in the OVC. Tell us what has gone into the process of implementing replay across the league, and some of the basics that will go into it once the season begins.
Sure. What's gone into the process for the implementation of instant replay is a lot of hard work, especially a lot of hard work from people behind the scenes in our member schools. Somebody has to run the cable. Somebody has to make sure the press box is ready. Somebody has to make sure there's internet access and the equipment is installed properly. All these things have to happen before my staff can even come to a game and operate it and make it work for the student athletes that play the game. We're very thankful for all those people behind the scenes in our schools that are making that happen on behalf of the league. It required us to hire 12 new people on the staff, 5 instant replay officials who are assigned to our crews, 7 communicators who will assist them regionally, and it's required us to have sideline assistants, to have instant replay equipment technicians. It's required us to learn those things and is into the rule book as well as it relates to Rule 12 and instant replay. Instant replay has come a long way since its inception, but it's still relatively new at the FCS level. Fans and school people are used to it in the playoffs and in a few conferences, but not widespread. And so the Ohio Valley Conference is out in front right now of implementing it so that we can make sure that we have a good opportunity of not being the story as officials on Tuesday or Wednesday by correcting something 30 seconds after it actually happened. The way instant replay works is that the instant replay official is the only official in the game that never takes a break. He is looking even during timeouts at every play that happened during the game, and as a backup to that, a coach with a timeout available can challenge a call as well. And so then they alert the crew by a paging device to shut down the game, and let's take a closer look, and then we can either confirm the call, reverse it, or let it stand if we don't have a good camera angle. Targeting fouls, which are, as we move towards player safety issues, are always automatically reviewed, and the decision of instant replay as it relates to targeting is final.
One of the rule changes for this year involves an unsportsmanlike penalty for coaches who leave the sideline to protest an officiating decision. Tell us how this rule will impact college football this season.
It has always been a violation of the rules for any person who is restricted to the sideline, such as a coach, an assistant coach, a squad member, a substitute, to be on the field without the permission of the referee. The penalty for that was unsportsmanlike conduct, and I would dare say it was very rare that was strictly enforced. The rulebook now says that a coach who leaves the restricted area, that's the white space that's 3 yards wide on the sideline, and enters onto the playing field to protest a call, to demonstrate objection to a call, is not only subject to that penalty, but it's immediate, and there are no warnings. So unfortunately, there were a very few college football coaches around the country who consistently violated that provision, and it's the Rules Committee, and with support of the NCAA, has recognized that, and that is across the board on all levels of college football, FCS, FBS, Division II, III, and so forth. And so I think we're looking for a cultural change. We're not saying to our coaches, don't ever protest anything, don't ever object to anything, don't ever ask questions. But to do so, we need you to do so on the sideline. And hopefully we'll have a change in culture of that, because we certainly want to be focused on what's happening on the field more than we do what's happening off the field.
Any other rule changes or points of emphasis?
One of the changes you'll see in college football this year is that the game is to be administrated more efficiently. And so fans at home who are watching games on television will have to get their meal in at halftime a little faster, because halftime is 20 minutes. And by 20 minutes, we mean that the 20 minutes will start as soon as the second half ends. And when that 20 minutes hits zero, we plan to kick off to start the third quarter. So the game will move a little bit faster in that regard. Pace of play, administrating the game, and being efficient has been a concern for a number of years. And so you'll see that entering into our games at all levels, and certainly in the Ohio Valley Conference this year.
Finally, what is a typical week like for you in this role?
A typical week for me has to do, once the season begins, I'll be reviewing a lot of film. I'll be traveling to our member schools during the season to see our staff work in person and give them immediate feedback, and to interact with our school people and our school officials to make sure our program is a superior program. Once the game has been played, I have the responsibility of grading every play that happened during the game. So officials will have to know whether a call they made was correct or incorrect or marginal. They'll have to know if there was something that was missed. Schools might send plays into the conference office to me directly that they want some response to, of things that we were either correct or not correct, or unfortunately missed something. It is my obligation to our schools that we're accountable, as we hold them accountable in sportsmanship issues, but it is my responsibility to make sure that those things are done in a transparent way. So then during the week, I will have to be offering the feedback to the staff. I will be responsible for publishing a weekly training video that goes not only to our head coaches and to our athletic directors, but also goes to every member of our staff, of trends and things that have happened during the week that we can all learn from and get better, so that we can have an excellent program.